Hello and welcome to another of the Acquire Group's Head Honcho interview series. I'm delighted to be joined today with Nic Foster, who's responsible for the smooth running of Coco Republic's flagship businesses. Nic, as COO, you're responsible for quite a broad portfolio. I think you work in partnership with the creative types, and I think you've got 4 businesses across the retail, the design, property styling, and also education, which I'm sure I'd love to hear more about. And in terms of your day-to-day operations, I think you're responsible for finance, supply chain, HR. Have I missed anything, Nic?
What? Yeah, IT, sales operations, basically day-to-day
running
operations.
Fabulous. Now you came through, you came through a CFO pathway, so I'm just curious to understand how you built and developed those skills and experience to move into such a broad role today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's great to be here. And I started my career at Price Waterhouse, so typical sort of route through the chartered environment. But I think the great thing for me at Price was back in the days where you really got very diverse exposure to a huge amount of clients. So everything from Macquarie Bank, Jardines Insurance, GIO, Everready Batteries, Mirvac Property Development. So really got to see a very broad exposure very early in my career, which was fantastic. Probably gave me a real appetite to understand the real drivers behind a business, and hence jump into the commercial space, and was given the opportunity to jump over to Sony, who was one of my clients, and get engaged very early in an exciting new startup being PlayStation at the time. So, first partner of the divisional managing director for PlayStation, and really took that on an exciting journey where we grew it from 50 million to 300 million over a period of time. But through that journey, got to expand beyond finance. We put in an ERP system, which was back in the time where analytical skills were really valued to understand the end-to-end transactions in business. So rather than just being standalone financial systems, it was a real value in how we took that through the business. We set up third-party logistics. We actually also set up the first internet sales environment. So we talk about digital disruption, but SAP internet sales, we did the first installation of that in the Asia-Pac region, ran anti-piracy campaigns around intellectual property, and really, because it was a smaller style of business, had the opportunity just to get involved in
a very facets.
cross-section. And that sort of led to an opportunity at the end of that where I jumped across to Sony Australia, Sony Electronics, which is sort of the larger billion-dollar size enterprise. And the objective there was really to take a lot of those learnings of how to create that light, nimble operating platform and take that into a business that had become quite large and had the larger traditional infrastructure, and try and do a lot of change management around how we could make that a bit more nimble and a bit more dynamic moving forward as a business. So exciting journey there, and more recently in the last 18 months had the opportunity to join Coco, which again, fantastic local brand, and really take that to the next level as a business.
Wow, what a fantastic journey you've been on.
Yeah, so it's been great.
And thinking about, you talk about technology and obviously the Sony world, and then into high-end furniture and posh coffee tables and beautiful couches and so forth. How do you take that learning and think about, run, measure, manage, grow that type of business compared to perhaps Sony? Is it vastly different? Or?
I think at the end of the day, we're lucky that both businesses had a fantastic premium brand, but really it gets down to what is the consumer experience we're trying to deliver at the end of the day, and aligning the organisation behind that. So at Sony we'd say we don't sell a piece of glass, we sell a TV into the lounge room that delivers a fantastic visual and a fantastic sound experience. Similarly at Coco, I mean, we do sell on aesthetic of product, but it's really, we talk about creating a sanctuary that people like coming home to, and really a feel-good environment. So you talk about those divisions previously, but we want you to go home and really feel happy and content in the sanctuary that you've created at home. Probably more a man cave for you, but that style of environment. So whether it's selling furniture or whether it's property styling, creating that environment that gives you that edge when you're selling your house, or if you're building a new house, our design services team can come out and help. Or if you're interested in that creative style, but it's not your profession, you may be a doctor or a lawyer or whatever, we run a lot of short courses in the education that gives people a feel for what it's about and a better understanding of that environment. So being clear on what the consumer experience is number one, and then I think the skill as a sort of a COO style of role is really aligning the organisation and ensuring that every area of the organisation is clear on that objective and all working to that common goal of delivering that experience.
Now, our team spends a lot of time meeting, if I take you back to that Price Waterhouse days, bright young people that perhaps are thinking of moving into commerce and aspirations of perhaps being a CFO or a COO one day. If you think forward into 2026, what are the kind of skills those individuals need to accumulate or think about to become the future CFO, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think experience is always number one, so I would challenge anyone to just challenge themselves to get, whether it's geographical experience, get exposure to European, Asian, American markets. In my experience, they all operate slightly differently. There's no right or wrong, but the more experience from that perspective, the better. Across markets, the more experience you can get in industry groups or even divisions within your own organisations. So, asked to get put on a project to go and understand what's happening in the manufacturing facility or the sales and marketing facility or the local branch that's in a different state or region. Just get out there. And also, similarly, from an education perspective, everyone talks about there's as much value in meeting people on educational courses as what there is in doing the underlying course. So there's no substitute for experience, but probably performance management would be the big number two. I've always found that asking questions about the business is a lot better way of understanding what's happening rather than trying to interpret what's happening out of financials. So the more you can get out there, understand performance measurement, understand what are the actual drivers for that company, division, department, whatever it may be, and then formulate that into a measurement for either continuous improvement or issue resolution is absolutely critical. And I think that's where sort of that finance profession / broader CFO role needs to move in totality. So it's it's not reactive reporting, it's really proactive reporting around understanding the drivers. And thirdly is probably the evolution into influencing skills. So leadership is critical, and as you go through, you'll do a lot of leadership courses and you'll have a team to manage. That direct management is sort of leadership. I think influencing is when you can take that more broadly through your organisation, so you're influencing whether it's a sales and marketing department or the manufacturing department, or ultimately in that COO, CFO style of role is probably outside the organisation as well. So you start influencing your shareholders, your financing partners, your customers, your suppliers, and really bring outside your organisation, broadly within your organisation and your team, back on that journey that we were talking about previously to deliver the customer experience that ultimately your brand is going to be gauged against.
Sure, fantastic insights. Now the words digital disruption are echoed on a daily basis. How is that world impacting your business? And then more importantly, as a CFO, COO, how do you then deal with that, be it opportunities or challenges?
I mean, digital disruption is obviously absolutely everywhere, and I think it's really around taking roadblocks out of the way that you do business and taking barriers away from the way that the customer can interact with your brand or your product or whatever it may be. At Coco Republic, we do have a sister brand called Max Sparrow where we sell online furniture, so that's that pure buy-sell style of model, so more of a wholesale model where if you know what you like, you can go on and you can get really high value, high quality product at good value proposition. But more recently, this month, we've actually taken Coco Republic online as well. So that's we're now a pure play omni-channel solution. And again, the thinking behind that is really we just have to accommodate the customer needs and be able to let them engage however they want. So it's not going to replace a large portion of our sales, but I think it's going to give the customer the opportunity to go on, have a look at a lot of aesthetics in regard to previous work that we've done, current product range, get a feel for what they like, understand the potential price ranges they may be able to operate in. So it allows them to shortcut and come into our showroom to get the full showroom experience with a bit better understanding of our product range. So it not only helps them, helps our design consultants because they're sort of a step ahead and really just makes the whole end-to-end process that little bit more efficient. So I think digital disruption will continue to evolve in every business, and it's really around making the opportunity or creating the opportunity for the customer to engage with your brand and your product that little bit more seamless and that removing those barriers.
And with that omni-channel strategy that you're obviously accelerating, are you expecting supply chain to dramatically overhaul? Like, what are the changes occurring there?
I don't think it's going to. I'm more an evolutionist rather than a revolutionist when it comes to digital disruption, but it will definitely change. Suddenly, you can't hide behind your sort of wholesale supply chain. You have to make that visible to your customer in regard to likely lead times and availability of product and timelines. So it does continue to challenge the business and challenge the people within the business to understand that there's nowhere to hide, for lack of a better description. Everything's visible.
Sure, fantastic. Back to you as an individual, if you don't mind me asking, Nic. If you could go back 10 years and give yourself some advice, what would that be?
Good question. Probably don't be afraid of problems or challenges. I think particularly in that finance space, you get told that your job is to make sure there are no problems and everything has to be perfect type of situation. But probably the greatest opportunities I've been in my career is where I've actually said, hey, I think we've got a problem here, or there might be an issue there. I'd like to work on trying to come up with a solution or get involved with a project team that may be able to create a solution, and that could end up in a thing from creating a new business, creating a project team, and it's also probably a good opportunity to get in exposure to very senior management, because if it is a genuine problem within the business, they're interested,
visibility,
very hungry to get people, smart people to help solve problems and resolve it. So probably, don't be fearful of problems and challenges. Don't create them yourself, but look for them within the organisation and then look for opportunities to solve them, which will benefit you by working with senior management and hopefully also meeting some people outside your organisation that may have already come across those issues and be able to help you solve them.
Fantastic. Well, that's great insights. Nic, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks, Kev.
Cheers.
Cheers.